Good morning, dear students. Let us start our today's class with a prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Dear children, we are going to see the second lesson in chemistry, changes around us. By learning this lesson, we can easily define what are chemical reactions and we can be able to differentiate chemical changes from physical changes, know about the factors that determines the chemical change and what are the importance of chemical change and the effect of chemical changes, and we can easily identify the chemical changes in our day-to-day life. So, to introduce into the lesson, have you ever seen the Qutub Minar in Delhi? This is Qutub Minar. It is a great wonder. There you can see a rust-free, that is rust-resistant iron pillar. There is no rust in this pillar. Throughout, it is made up of iron, some kind of alloy. It has no rust, rusting for more than 1500 years. So it has become a wonder. Many tourists and scientists wonder about this. Many things we see in our life are changing. It is not like this. You could have noticed milk turned into curd. How it is happening? It is some chemical change. We see number of changes in our surrounding. Some of them are physical changes and some of them are chemical changes. You have already studied in your early classes 6th and 7th about the changes around you. Some examples: the folding and unfolding a paper, drying the wet cloth, bending the iron rod of one particular shape to another shape, or some examples for physical changes. On the other hand, changes like burning of paper, digestion of food, turning of milk into curd, and decaying of vegetables, these are some examples for chemical changes. So, in this lesson, we are going to study about chemical changes and factor determining chemical changes and the effect of chemical changes. Let's define what is a chemical change. A chemical change is a permanent and irreversible change which produce a, a new substance. Okay, I repeat, a chemical change is a permanent and irreversible change which produce a new substance. It is a permanent change, we cannot alter that, and it is an irreversible change. We cannot get the reactant again from the product. So the chemical changes are otherwise all called as chemical reaction, because one or more substances, the substances which involved in this reaction is called reactants, and the new substance is called as product. New substance is called as product, and which involves in this reaction is called as reactant. Okay, so activity 1 is given. You can easily classify which is chemical change, which is physical change, just by the criteria, which is permanent, irreversible, it is a chemical change. We can obtain the reactant again, means it is a physical change. So next we need to see factors determining chemical changes. What are all the factors determining chemical changes? Chemical changes will not occur at all conditions. It can occur only certain conditions alone. So these are all the factors determining chemical changes. Contact in physical state, solution of reaction, electricity, heat, light, and catalyst. Now we are going to see the contact in physical state. We experience many events in our daily life, like burning of matchstick or rubbing and iron materials turned into reddish brown. Why and how this change happens? These changes are due to These changes are due to chemical reactions by contact in physical state. Combination of reactions in their naturally occurring state. It may be solid, liquid and gases. The contact may be a solid, liquid, gases. For each one, the examples are given. Is referred as a contact in physical state. So, when a dry wood comes in contact with a fire, so there is a contact, physical contact between wood and fire. It burns with the help of oxygen. Oxygen always helps for burning. Oxygen always helps for burning. To form carbon dioxide, the product will be carbon. The burnt out wood is known as carbon. okay, which is given out as smoke. Then second example, matchstick. Matchstick rubbed on the side of a matchbox, a chemical reaction takes place, and form of heat, light and smoke will be produced. Okay, what are all the chemicals used in matchsticks is given in your textbook as more you know. Then when quicklime is the chemical name for quicklime is calcium oxide. Calcium oxide comes into contact with water. We used to paint our wall. Yes, it forms a slacked lime called calcium hydroxide. So liquid. In the previous case, air. In the previous case, solid. So three examples were given for you. Let's see what are the interesting factors about the matchstick. The head of matchstick contains potassium chloride and antimony trisulfate. The side of the matchbox contains red phosphorus. And the head of the matchstick contains potassium chloride and antimony trisulfate made up of sulfur. Okay, the red while rubbing, the red phosphorus turned into white phosphorus. So the white phosphorus are very easy to burn when it contact with the air. So the also the potassium chloride and sulfur are very helpful to burning. Okay, so this is the process taken over in the matchstick. So from these above reactions, we can conclude that certain chemical reactions take place only when the reactants are brought in contact with each other in their physical state. If it is not brought in contact, the chemical reaction will not happen. So the physical contact is very much important. Second thing, solution of reaction we are going to see. Solution of reaction. Before seeing this, let's see the activity. Take 2 test tubes and couple of rust-free iron nails. In one test tube, pour some water and put an iron nail. Keep the test tube open for few days. Take another test tube and pour some water along with some coconut oil. Now place the second iron nail. Leave the setup for a few days. Observe the change and record them. Which iron nail get rusted and why? Can you guess which is going to undergo rusting? Yes, which is not having the coconut oil. Let's see that example. See this, take 3 test tube, add plain water in first test tube and carefully put the nail inside the plain test tube which contains water, and in the second test tube boiled water which is free from oxygen. When the water is boiling, the oxygen in the water left over is removed from the water, and put the iron rod or nail inside that boiled water and also add some coconut water. I hope water and oil will not mix because water is denser, it is at the bottom. The third test tube, it is not given in your book, I added that. That is calcium chloride. Calcium chloride, it is a material which absorb all the moist from the atmosphere. That's what given in your newly bought water bottle, plastic cover, purse, etc. In a sachet of packet. Calcium chloride absorbs the atmospheric moisture. Okay, and also you should close that test tube. Okay. Set it for few more days. See, the calcium chloride test tube is not rusting, the nail is not rusting. See the second one which is containing the coconut oil, it is also not rusting, it is free from rust. See the nail thoroughly, it is free from rust. See the first one, it is completely rusted. Okay, that red color shows the rusting process. So when the water and the iron nail comes under contact in a favorable situation, the chemical reaction called rusting happens. So the physical contact is very much important. That is the conclusion of this observation. See a textbook. The second factor that determines chemical changes is solution of reaction. When milk is mixed with coffee decoction, the color of the milk and the decoction changes due to chemical reaction. Similarly, when we mix two substances that are called as reactants in solution form, a chemical reaction takes place between them to form new substance product. For example, take some small amount of solid silver nitrate. This is solid silver nitrate, and this is solid silver nitrate. This is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is nothing but your table salt. This is sodium chloride. This is solid silver nitrate. Okay, take separately as a solid. Solid means it is made up of thick crystal like material. So take them in test tube and try to mix them with a spatula. What will happen? You cannot observe any chemical reaction in solid state. No reaction happens. Next thing, you have to take a test tube and put some silver nitrate and add some water and mix at a solution. Take another test tube and add some sodium chloride, add some water and stir it well and make it as a solution. Now you combine these two solutions. Silver nitrate solution is in one test tube and sodium chloride solution will be in another test tube. You are going to now thoroughly mix both the solutions. Initially what we did, we mixed the solids. Now what we are doing, we are going to mix the solution. What will happen? Reaction takes place. A sodium chloride solution to form a white precipitate of silver chloride and sodium nitrate solution. So from the above chemical reaction, we can conclude that solution cannot be formed in a solid form. What will the product? I repeat, the product will be silver chloride and sodium nitrate. Silver chloride and sodium nitrate will be the product. What are the reactants? Silver nitrate and sodium chloride are the reactants. And what are the products? Silver chloride and sodium nitrate will be the product. Okay. Next we need to see how the electricity helps for chemical reaction. Electricity is essential for our life. Electricity is essential for our living. We are using electricity for cooking, lighting, grinding, watching television, etc. Do you know electricity can be used to carry out chemical reactions also? Many chemical reactions which take place with the help of electricity are industrially very important. As you know, water is made of hydrogen and oxygen molecules. When the electricity is passed through water, which contains small amount of sulfuric acid. If the water contains small amount of sulfuric acid, the hydrogen and oxygen gases are liberated. Similarly, a concentration solution of sodium chloride called brine is electrolyzed. The concentrated solution of sodium chloride's other name is brine. Electrolyzed to produce chlorine and hydrogen gases. We can separate chlorine gas and hydrogen gas along with sodium hydroxide as another product. This is an important reaction to produce chlorine industry. Let's see the reaction as a picture. This is what the reaction takes place in the chlorine industry, that is brine. Can you see this brine? This is brine. So this is the chemical reaction, the titanium anode and mild steel cathode. This is positive and this is negative. So the current is passed through this titanium anode and this mid steel cathode. What are the products? See this chlorine gas, hydrogen gas, sodium hydroxide. So these are all the products. Chlorine gas, hydrogen gas, sodium hydroxide are the products. Okay. So this is what happening in the chlorine industry. So this process is known as electrochemical reactions. What are electrochemical reaction? Definition: some chemical reactions proceed only by the passage of electricity. Such reactions are called electrochemical reactions or electrolysis Next, we are going to see how heat is supporting the chemical reaction. Food is important for our survival and also for the survival of many other living beings. Have you ever closely watched your mother cooking food? She boils rice, cooks vegetables, and prepares gravy by heating them over stove. When enough heat is given, some chemical reactions take place to convert the raw food item into cooked one. You can learn more about this by conducting a reaction in your laboratory. Take a small amount of lead nitrate in a dry test tube and heat it gently over a flame. This is what that reaction picture. Inside it, lead nitrate is there. You are going to give heat using this Bunsen burner. Okay. Observe the change closely. You will hear cracking sound. Cracking sound will happen, and an evolution of a reddish brown color gas, that is nitrogen dioxide. This reddish brown color gas, close picture is given here. This is nitrogen dioxide is produced. In industry, this is one example. In industry, limestone rocks are heated to get quicklime, calcium oxide. Hence, some chemical reactions can be achieved by the supply of heat only. These reactions are called thermochemical reactions or thermolysis. Some chemical reactions can be achieved by the supply of heat only. These reactions are called thermochemical reactions. Next, we need to see how the light supports the chemical reaction. Very common example is photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means protection. Okay, the sunlight is important not only for us but also for plants. As you know, this photosynthesis is a process in which light energy from the sun is used by the plants to prepare starch from carbon dioxide and water. The sunlight includes the chemical reactions between carbon dioxide and water, which finally ends up in the product of starch. Thus, chemical reaction included by light are called photochemical reactions. Here I would like to add some extra points. The photosynthesis is not only photochemical reaction. There are a number of photochemical reactions around us. The first thing, the photosynthesis. The second thing, human formation of vitamin D by exposing to sunlight. Our skin prepare vitamin D when exposed to sunlight. This is an example for photochemical reaction. Another one is bioluminescence. The fireflies, you have seen, isn't it? An enzyme in the abdomen catalyzes a reaction that produces light. That is also a example for photochemical reaction. Polymerization started by photoinitiators which decompose upon absorbing light to produce the free radicals for radical polymerization. Polymerization is a very important thing. It is a separate chemical division. It is a broad division. Then photo degeneration of many substances. Example, polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride is a common example for photo degeneration. Medicine bottles are often made up of darkened glasses to prevent the drug from photo degeneration. Why the medicinal bottles are in dark color? If the chemicals inside the bottle absorb the light, the heat, it will produce some other product which end with some dangerous. So it is made up of dark color to avoid the photochemical reaction. Photodynamic therapy. Light is used to destroy tumor cells by the action of singlet oxygen generated by the photosensitized reaction of triplet oxygen. This is a huge thing. You just know photodynamic therapy. It is also an example for photochemical reaction. These are the additional points I would like to add along with this photochemical reactions. Next, we need to see about the catalyst. Sometime you are advised by the elders to drink a small amount of warm water after a heavy meal. Do you know why? This is because warm water makes digestion faster. Simple, it is not a food, it induces the digestion faster. Likewise, in industry, some chemical substances are used to speed up chemical reaction. These catalysts will never take part in reaction, it just induce the speed. Okay, for example, metallic ion is used as a catalyst in the manufacture of ammonia using Haber's process. This ammonia is the basic material for the production of urea as an important fertilizer in agriculture. This is the first point. You remember this. I am going to explain few things about this ammonia. Next, in vanaspati, that is ghee, dalda preparation, finely divided nickel is used as a catalyst. Here we are going to discuss about this nickel also. The speed of certain reactions is influenced by the catalyst, and such reactions are called catalytic reaction. Let's see the effect. I have already told you in previous lessons, don't blindly follow your textbook. உன்னோட டெக்ஸ்ட் புக்கை குருட்டுத்தனமாக அப்படியே நம்பாதன்னு நான் சொல்லியிருக்கேன். ஒரு டெக்ஸ்ட் புக்கில் உனக்கு ஒன்று கொடுத்துருக்குறாங்க சயின்ஸ் அண்ட் சோஷியல் சயின்ஸில் அப்படின்னா அது சம்மந்தமான விஷயங்களை வெளியில் புக்ஸில் மேகசின்ஸில் நெட்டில் போய் தேடி பார்த்து படித்து தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. இப்போ உனக்கு கேட்டலிஸ்ட்டில் 2 எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஒன்று அம்மோனியா ஒரு ஃபர்டிலைசர், நல்ல யூஸ்ஃபுல்லான ஃபர்டிலைசர்னு ஒன்று கொடுத்துருக்குறாங்க. இன்னொன்று என்ன கொடுத்துருக்குறாங்க, டால்டாவில் நிக்கல் யூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. நிக்கல் யூஸ் பண்ணி கேட்டலிஸ்ட்டாக யூஸ் பண்ணி டால்டா ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஈஸியாக வேகமாக டால்டா ப்ரிப்பேர் ஆகுதுன்னு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. நமக்கு இதெல்லாம் சரி போலன்னு தோணும். டெக்ஸ்ட் புக்லேயே கொடுத்துட்டாங்க சரி அப்படின்னு நினைப்போம். ஏன்னா சின்ன பிள்ளைங்க இல்லையா, அவங்க மனசில் இது விதைக்கப்படுது பாடத்தின் வழியாக. அதைத்தான் நான் பிடி வெரைட்டிஸ்க்கும் சொன்னேன். ஒரு தவறானதை சயின்ஸில் சரின்னு கொடுத்துட்டோம் அப்படின்னா இது சரிதான் போல் நீ வளர்ந்து வந்து தெரிஞ்சுக்குவ, இதுக்கு நீ அப்போசிஷன் எப்பயுமே தரமாட்டேன். அதனால சின்னதுலேயே விதைச்சிட்டா நல்லதுன்ற மாதிரி இப்போ பிளான் நடந்துகிட்ருக்கு. அதை பற்றி நம்ம வந்து டீப்பாக டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண வேண்டாம். நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்குவோம், நம்ம எக்ஸ்ட்ரா வாசிப்போம், நம்ம எது சரி எது தப்புன்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்குவோம். டெக்ஸ்ட் புக்கை மட்டும் பிளெயினாக எப்பயுமே நம்பாதீங்க. ஸ்பெஷலி சோஷியல் சயின்ஸ், ஹிஸ்ட்ரி படிக்கும்போதோ இல்லை வரலாறு படிக்கும்போது அது சம்மந்தமாக நீங்கள் வெளியில் படிக்கணும். டெக்ஸ்ட் புக் வந்து சரியான வரலாறு தராது. சிமிலர்லி உன்னோட சயின்ஸ் புக்கை படிக்கும்போதும் இது சரி அட்வான்டேஜில் கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க, ஒரு மோசமான எஃபெக்டை இது அட்வான்டேஜ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஆனால் அதோட டிஸ்அட்வான்டேஜ் தான் நிறையா இருக்கும். நீ தேடி பார்த்து படிக்கணும். படித்தாதான் உனக்கு அதை பற்றின நாலேஜ் அதிகமாகும். இட் இஸ் மை ஹம்பிள் ரெக்வஸ்ட் அண்ட் அட்வைஸ். லெட்ஸ் சி அம்மோனியா. பாருங்கள், அம்மோனியான்றது என்ன அப்படின்னா, இந்த ஃபர்டிலைசர்லாம் அதிகமாக பயன்படுத்தினது எதுக்கப்புறம் அப்படின்னா வேர்ல்டு வார்க்கு அப்புறம் தான். வேர்ல்டு வார்க்காக நிறைய என்ன பண்ணாங்க அப்படின்னா, டியூரிங் த வார் நைட்ரஜன் வாஸ் ஒன் ஆஃப் த ப்ரைம் காம்பனண்ட் ஆஃப் டிஎன்டி. அந்த வெடி மருந்துக்கு எக்ஸ்ப்ளோசிவ்க்கு நைட்ரஜன் தான் ரொம்ப முக்கியமானது. அதனால் யூஎஸ் கவர்மெண்ட் மட்டுமே 10 பிளான்ட் பண்ணுச்சுன்னா யூரோப்பில் நிறைய கண்ட்ரிஸ் வந்து இந்த வாரில் இன்வால்வ் ஆனாங்க. இப்படி எல்லாருமே என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா, இந்த நைட்ரஜனை ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு தனித்தனியாக செப்பரேட்டாக பிளான்ஸ் வைக்கிறாங்க. இந்த குண்டு போட்ட உடனே என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, டபால்னு வாரம் நிறுத்திட்டாங்க. அப்போது அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி கோடி கணக்கில் பணம் கொட்டி இருக்கிறாங்க. வேஸ்ட்டாக போயிடும்ல. அதுக்காக என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க அப்படின்னா, அதுலேருந்து அமோனியா ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணி அதை ஃபர்டிலைசராக மாற்றிடுறாங்க. ஸோ இது ஃபர்டிலைசர் போட்டிங்க அப்படின்னா, உரம் போட்டிங்கன்னா நல்லா செழித்து வளரும். வெடி மருந்துக்காக ரெடி பண்ணினது நவ் இட் டர்ன்ட் இன்டு எல்லாம் அந்த ஃபர்டிலைசர் எல்லாமே என்ன அப்படின்னா வெடி மருந்துக்காக ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணினது தான். அதனால தான் கெமிக்கல் ஃபர்டிலைசர் தப்புன்னு இப்போ லைட்டாக ஒரு அவேர்னஸ் வந்துட்டுருக்கு. ஆனால் முதல்ல ஃபர்டிலைசரை தலைமையில் தூக்கி வச்சு கொண்டாடி இந்தியாவில் பாதி மண்ணை நம்ம என்ன ஆக்கிட்டோம், மலடாக்கிட்டோம். அதனால ஃபர்டிலைசரை வந்து நம்ம சரி அப்படின்ற மாதிரி எடுத்துக்கக்கூடாது. இது ஒரு கேட்டலிஸ்ட்டாக அப்படியா அப்படின்றதோடு நிறுத்திக்கணும். we should not encourage that. செகண்ட் திங் பார்த்திங்க அப்படின்னா, இந்த நிக்கல் யூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க பாருங்கள். ரீசன்ட் ஸ்டடியில் ஒன்றில் பார்த்திங்க அப்படின்னா, பூனே ஃபுட் ட்ரக் அண்ட் அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் என்ன பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, இந்த ப்ராடக்ட் ஜெமினின்னு ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் கொடுத்துருக்குறாங்கல்ல, இந்த ப்ராடக்ட் 2 crore கிட்ட இருக்கிறத அப்படியே சீஸ் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. எதுக்காக அப்படின்னா, பெர்மிசிபிள் லிமிட்டை விட அதிகமாக நிக்கல் கண்டென்ட்டை போட்டிருக்காங்க அப்படின்றதுனால. பாருங்கள், அதை பற்றி அவர் சொல்லும்போது ஹை நிக்கல் கண்டென்ட், அந்த யார் நரகூட் அப்படின்றவர் அந்த ஃபுட் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியோட ஆஃபீஸர், அவர் சொல்லும்போது ஹை நிக்கல் கண்டென்ட் கேன் லீட் மெனி இல்னஸ், ஹைலி சான்ஸ் ஆஃப் டெவலப்பிங் வேரியஸ் ஃபார்ம்ஸ் ஆஃப் கேன்சர், லங் கேன்சர், நோஸ் கேன்சர், லாரிக்ஸ் கேன்சர், இப்படி நிறைய கேன்சர்ஸ் வருமா. அலர்ஜெட்டிக் ரியாக்ஷன்ஸை இந்த நிக்கல் கொடுக்குமா. அதே நேரத்தில் ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் டெஸ்ட் அப்படி டெஸ்ட் பண்ணினதில் அலௌடு பெர்மிசிபிள் லெவலை விட அதிகமாக நிக்கல் இருக்குது. ஒரு கீ கம்பெனியை அவங்க டெஸ்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. இது மாதிரி எத்தனை கீ கம்பெனிஸ் இருக்கும்? எல்லாத்துலேயுமே நிக்கல் யூஸ் பண்ணிகிட்ருக்காங்க. எவ்வளோ அலௌவ்டு அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 1.5 ppmனா பார்ட்ஸ் பர் மில்லியனில் ஒரு பங்கு தான் என்ன செய்யணும், 1.5 நிக்கல் தான் ஆட் பண்ணணுமா. ஆனால் இவங்க என்ன பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, பெர்மிசிபிள் லெவலை விட வேர்ல்டு ஹெல்த் ஆர்கனைசேஷன் அலோவ் பண்ண லெவலை விட டபுள் டைம்ஸாக யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. பேராசை. நம்ம எத்தனை ஃபுட் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியை பார்த்து தேடிட்டுருக்க முடியும்? Okay, so be aware. Nama being a consumer, we should be very aware of what we are taking, what we are consuming. Okay, record பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். என்ன, sorry for the disturbance. Protection of heat. Have you ever rubbing your palm in winter season to keep yourself warm? Have you noticed the heat produced when you use cycle pump? Similarly, some chemical reactions produce heat energy also. Such reactions are called as exothermic reactions. I repeat, exothermic reactions. For example, when you add water to a quicklime, that is called calcium oxide, lot of heat is released to produce lacked lime, calcium hydroxide. Another example, if you mix detergent, have detergent in your palm and add some water, you will feel some heat. So that is also an example for exothermic reaction. Activity 4 is given, and what is the product? We can conclude that sulfuric acid in a test tube and added sodium hydroxide and another test tube. If we mix carefully and touch the outside of the test tube, the product will be something else, and it is an exothermic reaction. You can experience heat at the outside. Next thing, production of light. When you ignite a candle, you get light as a result of burning. Some chemical reactions produces light. For example, a piece of magnesium ribbon is burnt in a flame. Bright light is produced with heat. Even the firework used during festival time produce different color lights, which are all due to chemical reactions. I would like to add some more points in this firework. See this components in firework. Aluminium is used to produce silver and white flame and sparks. It is a common component of sparkles. Sparkles இந்த கம்பி மத்தாப்பெல்லாம் வைக்கிறீங்களா அதில். Next, antimony is used to create firework glitter effect, and barium is used to create green color firework. Barium is used. Calcium is used to deepen the firework color. Calcium salts produce orange firework. Carbon is one of the main component of black powder, which is used as a propellant in firework. Carbon provides the fuel for a firework. Common form include carbon black, sugar or starch. And chlorine is an important component of many oxidizer in the firework. And copper produces blue color in firework. And iron is used to produce sparks. The heat of the metal determines the color of the spark. So high spark means added some more iron. Lithium is a material that is used to impart a red color to firework. Lithium carbonate in particular is a common colorant. And magnesium burns a very bright white color and added white sparks to improve overall brilliance of the firework. Oxygen, which helps to fire, it always supports the firework. And phosphorus burns spontaneously in the air and is also responsible for some glow in the dark effect. It may be a component of a firework. Potassium also produces firework mixture, and sodium is also used for yellow color work. Sulfur is also used as a component of black powder, and strontium is used for red color firework. Strontium components also used as a firework mixture. And titanium metals can be burnt as a powder or flake to produce silver sparks. Zinc is used to create smokes effect for firework and other things. The crackers is different. Okay, so these are all the points I would like to add up along with the firework. Anyhow, we enjoy firework. It is also a pollution factor. So try to avoid using these fireworks crackers in your today's Diwali. This today's not this year Diwali. Okay, this year Diwali you can avoid pollution. You can support the environment. You can spend that money to support those who are suffering from this corona effects. You can spend that firework money to some other family who are not able to celebrate Diwali. It is a great pleasure to see the happiness in other fellow beings face rather than seeing the crackers. Okay, I hope you understand. You are matured enough. I hope you implement my advice. Production of sound is the next topic. It is also produced due to the chemical reaction. As we have seen earlier, during Diwali crackers are burnt, it produces sound. If any chemical reactions takes place, it produces sound. Activity 5 is given. Add some diluted hydrochloric acid and drop a piece of magnesium of pieces of zinc metal inside it. What will happen? You can hear pop sound. You can hear pop sound. When metal like zinc and magnesium react with diluted acids like sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid, the hydrogen gas is produced. So the hydrogen gas is highly flammable. It reacts with the oxygen present in the air and produces pop sound. Okay. Next, production of pressure. When you compress hard a balloon having full of air, it will burst. This is due to sudden release of air from the balloon as a result of increasing pressure on the compression. Some chemical reactions produce gases which increases the pressure when the reaction takes place in a closed container. If the reaction takes place in the container, the air is released. If there is no space to escape the air, the pressure will increase. Due to that pressure, it will burst out. Okay, fireworks burst because of this reaction. Some fire accidents also happens due to the production of pressure. So up to this we have seen about the difference between chemical reaction and physical reaction, factors determining the chemical reaction, and importance and effect of chemical reactions. So I hope you understand this lesson. Develop your science knowledge, learn well. All the best. Thank you.